her hand, but he definitely couldn't kiss her. Let's go to pop culture with Brian Fisher.
Whoosh. Yeah. I like these random rhymes here.
Thank you, sir.
April Fool. Excuse me. No, it's good. It's good. It's better than I could do. That's for sure. Okay, so just a few not a lot of big pop culture stories this week either, but I'm still a Walking Dead fan.
Mm-hmm.
And this past Sunday, they had a very interesting episode. They had the entire backstory. One of my favorite characters, Negan. So Jeffrey Dean Morgan, or Jeffrey, am I saying his name? Or Jeffrey Morgan Dean, or Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Anyways, good actor.
Yes.
He was a very, very good villain on that show. Mm. So he, literally killed a couple big time main characters with a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. That's kind of his thing. Is very intense stuff, but he's been trying to make amends on the show and trying to be part of the community and stuff like that. But he gave his entire backstory, and something I did not know, his actual real wife played his wife in this backstory. So cool. Yeah, so it's actually a pretty tragic backstory, but it showed how he got the bat and everything else, and how all that started, and how his attitude changed and everything else. So if you like The Walking Dead, very, very good episode last week. Go check that out.
Appreciate that, because this is one of the most popular shows in history.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I was actually Negan a couple Halloweens there with anyway, I'll post a picture of that later. Okay. Anyways, very, very good.
I was Wonder Woman, but I'm not posting nothing.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So see a couple other things here. The Jerry Seinfeld is getting back into stand-up. He is now 66 years of age. He did a recent show in New York. He likes the small clubs in New York. Mm-hmm. Just kind of getting back out there. So Jerry Seinfeld, stand-up fan, not so much a fan. Interested, or could not care less if he's getting back up there. What do you guys think?
I was actually a huge Seinfeld TV show fan when it came out back in the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Yes,
and
for sure.
My kids, Mike Jr., who does our post-production work, he actually got hooked onto it. I had the VCR tapes, and I had seasons 1 through 8.
Yep.
And he actually wore those things out because he watched them so much. He was a little bit above, he's young teenager, is a little bit probably above his age range, but he was so smart that he picked up on all that. So yeah, huge Seinfeld fan. A lot of people got their Hollywood starts through that show. If you go back and see all the cameos that show had back in the day. So I would love to see him come to Cleveland. If he gets up on stage somewhere, one of the comedy clubs in Cleveland or Akron, I may have to do that before his time is done, because I think the guy's a genius.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Keith, what do you think?
I never watched Seinfeld when it was out. And as I got older and it went into syndication and I started giving it a shot, it is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Yeah.
I think it is absolutely brilliant. When I hear people say, I only watch that show, they just don't get it. You have to either get Seinfeld or you don't. And you can't just watch an episode and get it. You got to know the characters and why they say the things they do and do the things they do. Why is Costanza so low down? And so cheap. He's so cheap. And I just love the show. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I watch it every single day. I have my DVR set to record it on demand. I got usually have about 30 or 40 episodes loaded up, and I just watch them over and over again. Just to get a laugh or when I'm going to sleep. That's how big a fan I am of Seinfeld. I'm really disappointed that over the years that Jerry hasn't done more for the fans, because the show was so huge, which is why it's still in syndication. I do understand what happened with the Kramer character, which was played by is it Michael?
I
forget his name. Of course, he had the the big thing.
The blow up.
Yeah, the blow up with racial epitaphs and whatnot. So that might have something to do with it. I don't know. Julia Louis-Dreyfus has gone on to do some great things. Of course, The Old Christine is a funny show. And of course, Veep on HBO is hysterical.
Yeah.
Little out there, but it's hysterical. And of course, George Costanza, one of my favorite characters in all of TV, played by what's his name?
George, or not George?
Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
Yeah. He's done a lot of things here and there. So it's a really, really good show. A lot of sayings have come from that show.
Oh, these pretzels are making me thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
These pretzels are making me thirsty.
Boy, I'm really starting to dislike the Drake.
Hate the Drake. You are so good looking. You can't believe this woman. She's one of these low talkers.
You know, because he's a high talker.
He's nice, bit of a close talker. How about you, Jerry? I'm Swan. You sure? Could examine the artwork up close.
I don't have a square to spare. I can't spare a square.
I need hand. I have no hand.
No. Hello, Newman.
So you're still master of your domain?
Yes, master of my domain.
I am king of the county.
Lord of the manor.
I'm queen of the castle.
You mean shrinkage?
Yes. Significant shrinkage.
So you feel you were shortchanged?
Yes. I mean, if she thinks that's me, she's under a complete misapprehension.
What's the difference?
Well, what if she discusses it with Jane?
Oh, she's not gonna tell Jane.
Couldn't you at least tell her about the shrinkage factor?
No, I'm not gonna tell her about your shrinkage. Besides, I think women know about shrinkage.
How do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
Oh. Elaine! Elaine! Do women know about shrinkage?
What do you mean, like laundry?
No.
Like when a man goes swimming afterwards?
It shrinks?
Like a frightened turtle.
Why does it shrink?
It just does.
I don't know how you guys walk around with those things.
And as Skinner said, a lot of people got their break. The more I watch it, the more I go, oh, that's so and so. And I love to see people who travel from sitcom to sitcom. I see all these people who were on Seinfeld, and then years later they're on King of Queens. Then they're on Everybody Loves Raymond, and it goes on and on and on like that. So it's just a great show.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's definitely one of my favorites. So go ahead.
I got to say one thing.
Sure.
In pre-production, I said I can't wait to get to this subject. You know why?
Why?
We have been friends a long time, Fisher, and it took me forever to put my finger on it just recently. Why I love your humor so much. You remind me of Seinfeld. I've been meaning to tell you that for a while now. You are just like Seinfeld. I mean,
So you want to come up for a few minutes?
I'm sorry, Jerry. I just don't think this is gonna work.
Really? I thought...
I know. I'm sorry.
Gee, I just didn't expect it from the way you've been acting.
Are you sure you want to talk about this? Because I sure don't.
Of course I want to talk about it.
Okay. I guess things changed for me on Tuesday night.
Tuesday night? What happened Tuesday night?
I saw your act.
My act? What does that have to do with anything?
Well, to be honest, it just didn't make it for me. It's just so much fluff.
I can't believe this. So what are you saying? You didn't like my act? So that's it?
I can't be with someone if I don't respect what they do.
You're a cashier!
Jerry, it wasn't my kind of humor.
You can't go by the audience that night. It was late. They were terrible.
I heard the material.
I have other stuff. You should come see me on the weekend.
Thank you.
He just hits these zingers, man, on George with a serious approach. It is hysterical. His timing is perfect. You are just like Seinfeld. It took me forever to figure that out.
Well, any small comparison to Jerry Seinfeld is a great compliment. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite shows growing up for sure. I mean, it almost failed. I remember it was not doing well, and they put it on after Cheers back on Thursday night must-see television.
Big difference. Yes, that was big.
And that saved it. Yeah, so that really
time slots are everything.
Yes, absolutely. So I was a fan from day one. I recorded on the VCR. Then I have the entire box set on DVD. So, yeah, you're right. Even if it comes in syndication and I catch it, I'm just like, I have the whole box set. I can't not watch some of it at least because there's a funny scene every like 5 minutes. So great characters, great writing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so good stuff. And I saw Jerry Seinfeld back at the Akron Civic Theater, downtown Akron here, guys. This is many years ago now. But this is post-Seinfeld TV show. He went on a tour and enjoyed that show. So, yeah, I'm glad to see him getting out there.
Fish. I don't like his comedy at all.
It's very clean. You just have to be
I like clean. It just he doesn't crack me up. He says some real funny stuff here and there.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't crack me up.
Right. Very observational and everything else. So, yeah. But I do like his show. If you haven't checked this out, the Comedians in Cars with Coffee.
Excellent.
Also.
Yes.
On Netflix
Excellent.
Now. Yeah, very worth checking out. A lot of great comedians over the years, and all the episodes that started out, I think, it was some other platform, whatever. But Netflix bought all the rights to it, made some new seasons. So just to see his cars alone is pretty amazing that he owns.
Yeah.
But it's very, very good interviews and stuff like that. So check that out. Okay.
So hey, before you go,
yes.
My favorite episode, and I don't remember the name of the episode. It's when Kramer has to cook for a bunch of Jewish people at the Jewish Center.
Right.
And he's in
the apartment.
He runs into the apartment with that hot pan and he drops that thing down. Yeah. And the look on his face and I cry to this day over that scene with him. He takes a bite of the shlachka, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And he spits it out and it just kills me. That's to me by far the best episode.
What is going on here? What are you doing?
I got 3 kitchens going. I got brisket going at Newman's. I got Kugel working at Mrs. Sanfino's, and this is Kreplach. Yeah. Try some of this.
No, I don't want to.
Eat. Your skin and bones. Huh?
Oh, this is awful.
Oh, Jerry. It's Kreplach. It's an acquired taste, yeah. Oh, yeah.
By far, and this is hard to say because there's so many great ones. My favorite episode, you probably shouldn't be laughing at this. Kramer has to go, they start off playing basketball. Remember Jimmy? Jimmy is on fire. So Jimmy had which was big back in the 80s, the big white shoes that you wore that had no heel to build your calves up.
That's right.
They look like special shoes. So Kramer puts the special shoes on, and he has to go to the dentist. So he's shot up with Novocaine. So he's talking like this. And he goes to get a cab and runs into this guy, Arnold Deantry, who is the head of a program that's for adults with special needs. And Kramer can't talk because he's full of Novocaine. He sees the white shoes, and he thinks he's one of these people, right? So they invite him to the dinner. He's sitting at a table with Mel Torme.
Yep.
Serenading him, and he's sitting slobbering all over the place. Just a great episode.
Well, look who's here. Ooh. That's the guy who sidelined Jimmy.
What?
That's the guy who took the bread out of Jimmy's mouth. Jimmy's out of work because of you.
Wait. Jimmy wants a piece of Kramer. Come on now. Get your hands off Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna get you, Kramer. Hands off, Jimmy. Don't touch Jimmy. Let go, Jimmy.
Yeah. My lips swollen? No. I've been living alone a long time now.
Well, I think that's the tops. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to dedicate this song to a very courageous young man. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain. So stop that sighing, be happy again. Keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles with you.
I guess it's not funny, but it's funny.
Michael Richards was a comedian.
Michael Richards.
I had to look it up.
Thank you.
It was a shame with that incident. Yeah, because he was definitely, it was one of the funniest physical
my God, yeah.
Physical comedic actors that was ever on television. Yeah.
He's like a
sure.
Jack Ritter and guys like that. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah. And what we're talking about is so my favorite episode, I think there's many, but the opposite I love so much. That's when George Costanza realized that Jerry told him basically, if everything you're doing is wrong, the opposite has to be right. He starts to live his whole life doing everything the opposite, starting with the girl in the diner. He approaches her, gets a date, winds up working for the Yankees, the whole thing. Just a great episode. And it actually made me think at the time, you know what? There's something to this, perhaps. If I do the opposite of what I'm thinking, maybe life will turn out differently.
Exactly.
And it made me wonder if other people out there watch that show and maybe try to do that in
someone's
life.
Uncomfortable at a party.
Got knocking over there?
It all became very clear to me sitting out there today that every decision I've ever made in my entire life has been wrong. My life is the complete opposite of everything I want it to be. Every instinct I have in every aspect of life, be it something to wear, something to eat, it's all been wrong. Everyone.
Tuna on toast, coleslaw, cup of coffee.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. I always have tuna on toast. Nothing's ever worked out for me with tuna on toast. I want the complete opposite of tuna on toast. Chicken salad on rye, untoasted, with a side of potato salad, and a cup of tea.
Well, there's no telling what can happen from this.
You know, chicken salad's not the opposite of tuna. Salmon's the opposite of tuna, because salmon swim against the current, and the tuna swim with it.
Good for the tuna.
George, you know that woman just looked at you.
So what? What am I supposed to do?
Go talk to her.
Elaine, bald men with no jobs and no money who live with their parents don't approach strange women.
Well, here's your chance to try the opposite. Instead of tuna salad and being intimidated by women, chicken salad and going right up to them.
Yeah, I should do the opposite. I should.
If every instinct you have is wrong, then the opposite would have to be right.
Yes. I will do the opposite. I used to sit here and do nothing and regret it for the rest of the day. So now I will do the opposite, and I will do something. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you were looking in my direction.
Oh, yes, I was. You just ordered the same exact lunch as me.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
Aunt Victoria, hi.
How influential that show was. And you're right. You think about all the things that came with it. The
I decided I was
and
going to do this show.
Yeah. Huh?
I decided I was going to do this show.
Yes, that's right. That gets the opposite of what your gut tells you should do. Yeah. Anyway, so great stuff. Another huge iconic show. Speaking of this, right around the same time, the Friends, right? So Friends, which you may or may not know, they're doing a reunion special. They're planning this on HBO Max. All the main characters are going to come back. It's not like a actual, just they're not rebooting it like you're seeing some of these old shows doing with Frasier and whatnot that they're planning. This is some type of a special, and there's rumors now that they're gonna do at least a portion of this reunion in character, as if these characters have now aged and what are they up to and stuff like that. It's not the whole premise. I think it's more of just hey, we're seeing all the Friends actors together again for the first time in many years. So I don't know. Are you excited for the Friends reunion special on HBO Max whatsoever? Well, Skinner, what do you think? Go ahead, Keith. You start. Go ahead, Keith.
Okay. I'm going to hit you with a counter question, too, for both of you guys.
Yep.
If you like the show or if you watched the show, did you really like it or did you just watch it because there were 3 hot chicks?
I actually thought that. Actually, I watched every episode. I stuck with it. And I think it got to a place for me personally where it's like, well, I've come this far watching this thing, and I'm going to just ride it out until it ends. And it was, there were some funny moments and stuff like that, but it wasn't, in my opinion, it wasn't a hilarious show. There were funny moments and things and some nice stuff, but I don't know. It was now, if it launched today, as is today, with all of the content choices that we have, I don't know that it would have become the phenomenon that it was back at that time. But there was cable, but there was no streaming services back then. It wasn't as much of a
timing was everything for that show.
That is correct. So
I mean, it had the comedy. I thought it was the funny Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch that when it was on. Even in syndication, it wasn't something that caught my eye. I have watched several episodes. There were some that I enjoyed that were very funny. Mm-hmm. There were some that I just thought, like, boy, this show's really, really white.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it is white bread. Yes. But, it is what it is. If it comes on, I'm not going to go out of my way to watch it. Yeah. I thought Jennifer Aniston back then was just exquisite. Yes. These other girls were beautiful, too. But there was something about her. And to this day, she's still America's darling.
Sure.
She's got that girl next door persona going on, doing a lot of the makeup and the shampoos and the whatnot. But not a huge fan, but I did enjoy some of the episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the show, believe it or not. With all the girls in my house, I kind of got stuck watching it on Thursday nights or whatever night it was.
Oh, yeah.
Now, my 2 oldest girls, Brianna and Chelsea, are fanatics. They still are to this day. Matter of fact, they still got the clothes with the coffee shop and the Friends logos, and they just passed on one to Serenity, and she just wore it the other day, and I'm like, I just can't get rid of this show. I didn't hate the show. It wasn't me. I thought the best character on that show was Joey, the dumbass. Truthfully, I thought he was funny. He played the moronic, not so smart guy, but his one-liners were pretty funny if you took it for what it was worth. But,
see, I thought he was corny.
Now, he was corny.
The blonde, I can't think of her name at the moment. I thought she was hysterical.
Phoebe.
Phoebe.
I watched it for her.
Character name, yeah.
She was funny, especially when she sang her songs. You got and played at the cafe. I thought she was hysterical too.
What was that? Kitty, something Kitty.
Yeah.
Smelly Cat.
Smelly Cat. That's what it was.
My favorite song. Yeah. I want to say one thing though. The show does have one of the great iconic opening theme songs of all time.
That's true.
Oh yeah. It's probably one of the most recognizable ones.
I agree with that. Okay, Skinner, what's our time here? I know we had Cooper stop in, a couple things here. How much time we got left?
We got about 19 minutes to the end, so we're okay. You forgot one more thing?
Okay, Keith, does that work? One more for your clips? Okay. Okay, so we know last Wednesday, Kong versus Godzilla started streaming on HBO Max, and it was released in theaters as well. And a lot of people kind of watching this to see, okay, there's more vaccinations. Are people starting to step back out a little bit more, go to the theater? What's this going to do? And it's been the biggest movie release since the pandemic. It's exceeded Wonder Woman 1984 for Warner Brothers by far. So it's let's see here, as of the 24th. No, I take that back. I'm sorry. It earned 70 million in China, so far, and over 122 million all the way around. So it's been a nice hit for for Warner Brothers Pictures for sure. So it definitely you think it's a sign that people are looking to go see any movie, or is it this movie, or a combination of both? We got two iconic characters. What are your thoughts on Kong versus Godzilla? That
movie should be dominating over in China and Japan. That's where he did his most damage. But anyway,
that's right.
We grew up with Godzilla. I don't think it has as much to do with that as the simple fact that these are two beloved characters, always have been. And the bottom line is the movie is phenomenal, in my opinion. I loved every second of it.
Good.
It was just absolutely great. So I think the word got out. I see it on Facebook, and it's picking up steam and momentum.
Have you seen it, Skinner? Are you planning to
No,
go see
I have
it, or
not.
What's your thought? Okay.
I'm the non-cable streaming guy, so I've got the apps that I can go and watch from my couch per se without getting myself in trouble. But I'm probably going to watch it this week. It's been pretty busy with trying to get the basement completed, and we're rushing up against the clock with wanting to utilize some time at the camper. So I got to get this done so I can get the outside work. Anyway, I'm going to try to get to it this week. It is one of those shows and movies that it's a must see.
It was fun, man. It was very fun.
That's good. Yeah, I haven't.
I'm sorry. To answer your question, is people are dying to get back into theaters. People are dying to see the movies again. I know we're all a bunch of big movie buffs.
Yeah, but be careful how you word that. That's what they just might be doing.
Yes.
Dying.
People are eager to take their insecurities about the COVID and go to the theater because that's how much they enjoy that experience. So I hope while they're wanting to do this, everybody's still staying cautious and ease their way back into it. But yeah, I think people are ready to get back out to the theaters.
You guys know I love the movies too. We go to the movies together. We run into each other at the movies. But I am not in that big of a hurry to get back. So things calm down a little better.
I'm kind of with you, Keith. There's so many variants and unknowns and all that. I'm looking forward to getting back, but I'm fine to check these out at home for the time being. And I'm looking forward to seeing this one. I just ran out of time this weekend, but I will definitely watch. I am definitely interested. I did watch a little bit, and I did like the fact of the movie starts, and immediately there's King Kong.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Right away.
Beat Kong taking a nap, then he takes a shower and scratches his butt. You can't beat that kind of an opener, man.
So I'm like, we more monsters. That's what we want to see, and this looks like this movie does deliver.
Well, real
that,
quick,
so
while we're still with you, Pop Culture, I know we're going against my time, but just comments, guys, on the third episode of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think this show was just doing beyond my expectations.
It's beyond what I expected. It's you know, Marvel here is with all the Avengers. Yeah. This is up here. I think it's gone just way above what I ever imagined.
Okay, spoiler alerts for those who haven't seen the third episode, but just to bring back characters like you know, at the end, of course, to see one of the Wakanda guards show up was awesome. Then of course you have Sharon, who through her career way when she gave Cap his shield and the Falcon his wings back in Civil War. So that they're just doing an awesome job with it. Okay.
Yeah. So Keith, what do you got in the world of sports and music, sir?
All right. Okay. Well, it's hard to fit